Hey everybody, welcome to tomorrow's headlines today. I'm Robin, Fireside Grace Ministries. Good to see y'all. I'm covered in sand dust because it's helping Brandy sand one of her tables or a dresser that she bought. So what Brandy does is she buys furniture and redoes it, flips it to make a profit. That's one of the things that we do to make income for ourselves and stuff like that. So that is we have a shop also where we sell stuff that we flip and pictures that we paint and stuff like that in Judsonia. So check that out. We have a lot to talk about today. We have crypto. We have all kinds of things. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and then we will jump into this. All right, welcome everybody. I'm not expecting there to be a whole bunch of people here right now, but maybe there will be, maybe there won't be. I don't know. We have some things to talk about. All right, so last month and the month before, December, January, really all year, we have been raising money for people to pay for people's medical bills, pay for people's medicines that even their insurance wouldn't cover, and the prescription was like over $500. We've paid several people's mortgages and done all of these things, taking care of single moms, sponsored people for Christmas, where we took an offering for Bibles to send to a minister who's going to India to preach the gospel in India, in not just in like parts where it's okay, but in the bad parts of India where it's not safe for a Christian to preach. But that being said, we don't keep any of that for ourselves, and we're very blessed to be able to bless people because of you guys. But right now I'm asking you for help. Because we don't take anything for ourselves, but also we are not set right now, to say the least. So that's all that I'm going to say. If you'd like to partner with us, tithe with us, whatever it is, firesidegrace.com/partner with us. Venmo is Brandy-Cloninger. Cash App is $Fireside Grace. PayPal is at Fireside Grace, or mail us P.O. Box 1285, Judsonia, Arkansas 72081. That's all I'll say about that. But we're in a pickle, and I know people could say, well, then you should go get a job. But we have a job. We run a business. We run two businesses. We run a business where we sell the items and products that we make, that we flip, and so forth. We also do dog training, training service dogs and all that stuff. Plus, we run a rescue sanctuary for animals that are abused or at the end stages of their life and so forth. We do all of this stuff. We have employees. So the whole, well, maybe you should get a job thing, or have you done this and that, under the assumption that we just do ministry. We do ministry full time also, but we also do a lot of other stuff. But bills don't stop just because you're a 501c3 or because you do ministry. That's all I have to say about that. So let's get into the tomorrow's headlines today. So this is the first thing that the Lord spoke to me about, and He actually told me this 2 days ago, and I've sat on it and waited to say anything. And I saw Bitcoin going over $50,000 relatively soon, and it didn't make sense that it would go over $50,000. It didn't make sense because everything that was going on in the world, I saw I saw it actually going up around like 51. Here's like a specific number, and it could go higher or lower than this, but the number that I saw was $51,413, and that was up towards the edge. I don't see the exact number, but that was like the number impression that I had for whatever reason, okay? But as I was praying about it, I saw what looked like a crisis of some sort that was happening in America that was affecting the world, and it looked like there was this massive panic. People didn't know what was going to happen at the time. The market was doing well. They didn't know what was going on. It was like there was war that broke out or something. I don't know what it was, but there was like chaos. And this was growing at a time when it did not seem like the market should be growing. It was very strange. But that's what the Lord showed me, that it would grow like that. It would grow very rapidly like that. It is actually going to set records. I don't know if it's going to set records this year, but that would be cool. But there's going to be records set with that. So keep your eyes on that. Apparently, Bitcoin's going to do good. And people always say, what about this coin? What about that coin? What about this, that, and the other? I only share the coins that the Lord talks to me about. I don't know why He doesn't always talk to me about certain ones. But usually, the random ones He talks to me about. Like, He was talking about Litecoin today. I think this is in the prophetic words. Lord, I pray that you send ministering spirits to protect the signal, so this will be a good, strong signal and nothing will be cut off, so that anybody that will benefit from this will benefit from this message. But he showed me Litecoin, and he showed me Litecoin, and it popped off, but the light didn't go out. Does that make sense? And he said Litecoin is about to pop off. And, in some cases when God says, or when somebody says it's going to pop off, where I'm from, it means it's about to get lit. That it's about to be like a big deal. It's about to explode, like that. In other places, to pop off can mean to be dead, to die. And in some other places, to pop off can mean to shoot off your mouth. Both of those things, to shoot off your mouth and to get lit, are both. And that was LTC. I don't know if that's Litecoin, but it was LTC were the initials I saw, and it was a light bulb. So that's what I saw, all right, and that's what I heard. And I actually think I wrote that down in here, but just in case you were wondering, it's there, all right? So I saw vindication. The Lord said vindication is coming for Donald John Trump, the 45th, 46th, and 47th president. The Lord said allegations by E. John Carroll and other people, the fraud witch hunt trial in New York City, the accusations of 2020, all of it, vindication is coming even this year. Some things within several weeks, some within months, but things are going to move very rapidly for him. All right. The Lord said, watch the Supreme Court. There are several do-nothing conservative Republicans that are being paid to try to stir up conservatives to speak against the SCOTUSes, so that they will, these do-nothing Republicans will act as though these judges are strictly siding with liberals and Democrats alike, but that's not what's happening. So pray that these conservative Republicans will be exposed and that their corruption will be exposed also. Now, what the Lord told me about that was the purpose that they're doing this is so that they can get Christians to start to speak against them, come out of agreement with them, so that it will make it easier for the enemy to attack these people. Because if everybody's in agreement that these people need to go, then Christians stop praying. Because Christians, anybody, is still influenced by what they see and hear around them. But what you need to do is pray and beware. So you need to pray. And I just want to remind people that tomorrow's Headlines Today is a prophetic intercession program. It's where we pray about the things that are going to come to pass, the things that the Lord does not want to come to pass, the things that are the enemy's plan versus the things that are God's plan. We pray about these things, and we see changes. We see it all the time. We've seen, like I said months ago, Mayorkas is going to be out. He's going to be removed from office, and they've introduced articles of impeachment against him. Somebody else is going to come, is going to take his place. And then that person won't be there very long, not even a full year probably, and they'll be removed also. So keep your eyes on that kind of stuff. All right. There's going to be a sudden change among the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Pray that the Lord will promote leaders to these positions that are for God, for America, and are not owned by any deeply enlightened states of being. If you know anything about the New Age and where the term deep states come from, you'll understand. All right, let's see. Okay, here's one the Lord said to me specifically. He said, tell the people that watch this to not call it a bull market anymore. He said, the bull is Molech. You are not waiting for Molech to move so that you can be blessed. Back in the days of old, people would sacrifice their babies to Molech in order to gain personal or communal prosperity. Now we need to think of a better term instead of calling it a bull market. Okay? Because it's not you say, oh, it's a Molech market, we should move. We don't move when the devil moves. We are Christians. We are the move. It's like waiting for God to bring a move of God. We're just waiting for the next move of God. Y'all, you are the move of God. The move of God starts when Christians stand up and do something. Everyone will be like, oh, we're waiting for the next move of God. And then Smith Wigglesworth shows up and they're like, Smith Wigglesworth, he was flowing with God. He was moving with God. Well, he starts a movement. Why? Because he did what the Bible said he should do. We're the movement of God. You want to see, you want to be blessed? You as Christians, we as Christians are called to set the pace, the standard, the stage, the temperature. We are not called to live by the world's standard or temperature, but to set the pace and the temperature. Y'all can control things. We can control things. You can take the power back from the powers that be. All right. So I'm going to say about that. We need a better term, though. Like, it's a Christ-like market, or it's a lion-like market. So instead of feeling bullish like Molech, I mean, come on. What do they have at Wall Street? Our pastor actually pointed this out at church, which I've never seen a pastor actually talk about any of this stuff because it's always conspiracy theories. He said Molech is a bull. They sacrificed their babies. Molech was responsible for bringing prosperity and wealth and all these other things that and fertility and all this stuff. Why? By killing babies, first of all. And he's a bull. Well, what do they have on Wall Street? A giant bull. And what do they call a rapidly growing market? A bull market. Do you see how deep that runs? All right, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that's the truth. All right, so why don't we call it a lion market? Because lions are fast and they can consume. I think a lion, a pack of lions, could probably take down a bull pretty good. They take down a wildebeest pretty good, right? But they could take down a buffalo. Just saying, wolves can take down buffaloes. Imagine what a lion can do. That's like 2-3 times bigger than a wolf, right? So it's a lion market. But anyway, demons do not bless Christians. You could say, well, I mean, that's just a name. Yeah, okay, yoga's just a name, right? Yoga's okay for Christians because it's just stretching. It was designed to help people come closer to God's and to nature. And of course, everything in nature has something to do with God, according to the beliefs of yoga, right? So those positions are to help bring you closer to the elements of nature, or the spirits of nature. Oh yeah, yoga's okay. That's sarcasm, by the way. I'm not typically sarcastic, but it's not. But listen, demons don't bless Christians. If they give you anything, if you're benefiting from a bull market because the bulls are moving, because this, that, or the other thing is happening, it's demons. God's going to bless you. Yes, God will bless you. But if a demon's trying to bless you, it's a trap. It's a trick. There's a setup. There's a failure. There's something coming where they can steal your money. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're being influenced by demons if you're operating in the market or trading in the market. That's not what I'm saying at all by any stretch of the imagination. So please don't take me wrong. I'm just saying I feel like we could use some better verbiage here. All right, we're going to see planned news being exposed. What's going to happen is we're going to see events taking place a day or several days after an article is already posted revealing what happened before the event even happened. And trust me, it's not because the media is prophetic, nor is it because their handlers are prophetic. It's some of these events will be revolving around Biden's health, and the Lord said his days are numbered, and those days are very few. He has decided not to turn to God for help or salvation. His heart has failed him. He desires money, power, and satisfaction of the flesh without concern for who is harmed in the process. Exposure is coming. No one will go without being spotlighted and investigated in his inner circle. His coming articles of impeachment will mean nothing. Meaning it doesn't scare him. He doesn't care. He's got other things that he's planning on doing. All right. Mayorkas will be removed rapidly. His criminal activity and planned chaos will be exposed, meaning anything that has to do with the border and all of the things that have been going on at the border. General Milley will be exposed for sexual assault and sexual harassment, and you might be surprised that it's not just against women, or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. Iran is going to back up and support Lebanon with military force when Israel attacks Lebanon. You could say, what? Israel's going to attack Lebanon? Yeah, you need to start praying right now. Lebanon will take credit for attacks against Israeli forces and allowing other forces from other nations into their country to perpetrate attacks from Lebanese borders. So that's something that you need to pray about because they're going to take credit for attacks against Israeli forces and American forces. And how do you think that's going to go? We really need to pray. Listen, just because you declared that there won't be war does not mean that you don't need to continue to pray. All right? I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know who needs to hear that, but we do. All right, Turkey will become hostile against Israel and all Jewish people within its borders. There will be a great diaspora of Jews headed to Israel for safety. The population of Israel, even in times of war, will grow immensely, and Israel will end up being very prosperous. Well, they'll probably be more wealthy than China, America. America's not really wealthy. When I look at wealth, like the idea of wealth, I think a person's more wealthy when they're debt-free, not when they're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's like if you owe more than you make per year, are you really wealthy, or do you just have good credit? You know what I'm saying? All right. And an increased American presence is coming to the Mediterranean Sea and the Indian Ocean, and I mean a big increase. And it is in support of Israel. So we will be on the right side of this war. But it's funny because they're trying to make it so, how do I put this? They're trying to use this conflict to usher in things and to create war on purpose. They want to use Israel to their gain and benefit so that they can make more money and be blessed by being in league with God's covenant because of spiritual laws and manipulation of those spiritual laws. Okay? So we will support Israel, and they're trying to do it for a reason. And I believe that even this year we'll see things escalate in Israel and the Middle East. So we need to pray, because right before the war starts, price of gas is going to start going through the roof, because the nations in the Middle East that we get gas from will start to pull back. Thankfully, we have our own supplies, but with Biden as the commander-in-chief, I don't think that it will do very well. So, anyway, all right, here's the Litecoin prophecy. I already went over that. I saw it as a light bulb. It went bright real fast. I heard it's about to pop off. And I felt like that was a good thing, that it was going to be very good. Whoever this Willis person is, I put Danny Willis, or I don't know who this is, but they will be utterly embarrassed for mishandling and misappropriating funds, and they will be exposed as those. They will be exposed, and those who were involved in benefiting from this misappropriation will be exposed as well. Things are going to start heating up in California for Christians, as many liberal progressive groups call for the blatant attack of Christians and churches. It's in response to something that's happening nationwide. Something regarding something Donald Trump said, a conservative Christian America, some law that's passed or bill. I don't know what it is, but it's in response to something, and they call for the blatant attack of Christians at church, in church, around church, at abortion clinics, all these places. So we need to pray for the safety of these churches, for the safety of Christians, pastors, etc., because they don't care if you're a man, woman, or child. You've seen what these crazy people can do out there in 2020 with the rioting and the literally just shooting and murdering people in the streets and stuff, and not really very much justice coming from it. So we need to pray now that will be stopped. And what the Lord was saying was, if we don't pray now, it will not just be a California issue, but it will spread across the nation. So we need to intercede about that. We're going to see Mike L., the Mr. Pillow Man, headed back to the SCOTUS again very, very soon. Very, very interesting. I don't know exactly what he's going for, but he's going to go, and it's going to be something to see. All right, there won't be very much publicity about it. Like he'll try and run his mouth, but everybody's so tired of hearing him that nobody's really going to listen. Nobody's going to take it seriously, but people will be shocked and surprised by what comes out of it. And last but not least, the Lord said there are going to be several videos emerging that are coming out of politicians that are trying to bribe people to run for office and to not run for office. So they're trying to pay people to run and trying to pay people not to run, kind of like they did with Carrie Lake. The Lord said that he is going to use these things to expose crooked Republicans that are secretly in league with the evil powers that believe that they run this nation. And an interesting thing about that was he was showing me in this that there are a lot of Republicans out there that are holding their seats because they act like they're great conservative Republicans, but they don't have America's best interest at heart. They're owned and they're controlled, and they will So what the Lord was showing me is that Republicans have figured out how to be paid, how to be owned, how to do things the way that the deep enlightened state of thinking people would like to happen, so that they can get paid and be left alone, but also appear like they stand for and believe in the things that they're running for. So it's kind of like a quid pro quo, and it's the deep state trying to run both sides of the coin. I don't know if we're even allowed to talk about that on YouTube. So if we get banned for a week, find us on Rumble. It's rumble.com/Fireside Grace. Okay. I don't see any questions. One male lion would take down a bull. Good. Okay, so I don't see any questions or anything on here, so I'm going to let you go. Just remember, we really do need your help and your support, especially right now. Fireside, all of the information is rolling right across the bottom of the screen right there. So if the Lord puts it on your heart, we really definitely do need it, because this has been one of the slowest months that we've had in a long time. So that's all that I have for today. I love you guys. Be blessed. Keep us in your prayers. We definitely need your prayers more than anything, as this has been a very difficult month for us. Very, very difficult in many ways. A lot of warfare. Our book is almost out, and the Mark of the Beast from Creation to Revelation. We're just finishing that up with the editor. Just waiting to hear back on the final word, final notes. Sending that into the publisher, and then we are going to put it out. So within the next month or two, it will be out for you. So make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for that. It's going to be very good. Can we send you something by Zelle? Yes. Yeah, send us a message, firesidegrace@yahoo.com, and Brandy will be able to help you with that. All right. But anyway, it's been a lot of warfare. I've had all dark dreams for like the past 2 weeks from finishing this book. And it's been straight demonic attacks after demonic attacks here because of the book, the nature of the book, the things that are being exposed. There are things exposed in this book that you would not believe. Some of it a lot of it you probably will, but some of it it's going to it exposes the devil. It exposes the origin of demons, the origin of dinosaurs, the origin of aliens. It exposes what the end times game is, the plan, what is actually being talked about in Jude 1:7 with the strange flesh, and Revelation 12, Daniel 7, Daniel 9, Daniel 12, all those, plus things from books like Obadiah, Zephaniah, Isaiah, things that you probably haven't even thought of before about the end of days and what's going to be going on. So this is stuff that you're going to want to check out. But partner with us, Fireside Grace, all the information's right down there. I love you guys. Be blessed. Someone said, have you ever got a word about Zion oil and gas? Yes. I think you might be new. We do. I have seen that they would be very prosperous, that their stock would go very, very high, and they would make a lot of money. They are going to find oil. I believe they're going to find oil in their newest site. I see MJ1 and I see plus 100. But also, as Israel takes back its original borders, they are going to grow more because they are going to become the premier oil refiners or prospectors, finders, whatever you call it, in Israel when they go out looking for oil, when the oil fields of Iraq and Iran and different places, Jordan and so forth, are taken back under Israeli control. It's given back by the Lord. Now, some bad things are going to happen when that happens. Some bad things are going to come about from Israel taking back these borders, but these things are going to happen. The Lord has promised that it will happen. It's going to happen. Around that same time when that happens, for a while, there will be a lot of Christian support, but when you see the temple being built again, that's when, as Christians, you need to start leaving from there, because it will become hostile towards Christians. So, all right, that's all I have for today. Love you guys. Be blessed, and I will see you again very soon. Until next